Okay, thank you. So we are back. So sorry, we are only using the free version of this uh, platform. So okay, let's continue na. So we have here, um, is my audio clear? Diri ba naka-mute? Okay, I'm not mute. Let's start this one. So again, there is a wire anchored to that flagpole, which is 12 meters from the base. And the wire makes a 15 degrees angle with the ground. So saan yung ating ground? So this is the ground. This is now our horizontal, yung ating ground here. Then from the horizontal, from the ground, mayroong 15 degrees kung saan nakalocate yung ating pole. So this is now. And the question is, how long is that wire? So if we can see on the illustration, we can say that this is right triangles. You can cast 90 degrees. Sorry, so that is 90 degrees. We have theta on 15 degrees. So yung theta natin is 50 degrees. So right now na problem, given natin is 12 meters. That is the height of the supported wire. We have theta, which is 15 degrees. That is the angle of inclination of the wire from the ground. And required natin is to compute the length ng wire. So manual method, how are we going to use that one? Are we going to use sine, cosine, or tangent? So if we are going to use, sine. Diba si sine is, sine natin is sine of the theta opposite over hypotenuse. Do we have the value of the opposite side of theta? Yes, opposite of theta is this one, 12 meters. How about the hypotenuse? Waray kita,
No, ma'am.
waray kita hypotenuse, ano? So, waray kita hypotenuse, pero may da kita sine theta. Diba? May da kita 15 degrees. So, can we use sine in this problem? Okay, may nahina yan boses. Yes, ma'am. So, okay, that is good. So, we can use sine since mayroon tayong opposite, mayroon tayong angle. So, we can use sine. So, sine equals to opposite over hypotenuse, in which yung ating 15 degrees is yung ating angle, opposite over hypotenuse. So, we just simply substitute the values that is equivalent to yung opposite natin na 12 meters, then over L. So we just divide 12 meters by sine of 15. We can now compute the value of L. So simplify this equation. Then your L is equivalent to 46.36 meters. Okay? So kindly check if my solution is correct. We have a calculator with you. Kindly check kung sakto. Teka lang. 12 divided by sine 15. 46.364439. Okay, let's move to the other problem. So, madali lang siya, ano? So, let's move to the other one. You can open your mic na if you have questions or if you want to answer, you can open your mic. Okay, let's go to the second problem. So, we have a tree, 100 feet tall, yung kataas ng kahoy, cast a shadow of 120 feet. Find the angle of elevation of the sun. So, can you picture out the situation? May da kahoy, may igbaw nga kahoy, may adlaw, and then may the shadow and tree. So, the question is, what is the elevation of the sun? So, if we are going to illustrate this one, so we have the ground. syempre yung ating ground is this will serve as the horizontal line. Then, magtatanom kitan kahoy. Yes. Then, there is the sun that rays upon the tree. So, kung adian sun, location ng sun, magkamay niya rays, this will create a shadow somewhere here on the ground, di ba? This will create a shadow on this portion here. So, the question is, what is the angle of inclination of the sun if the length of this shadow is 120 feet? So, this is just complete the illustration. So the height of the tree is 100 and the length of the shadow is 120 feet. So find the angle of elevation of the sun. So what Trigo function are we going to use?
Tangent, ma'am.
Okay, tangent. We can use tangent since kano pwede ang tangent?
Because there is the opposite angle and the adjacent, the opposite side and the adjacent side.
Okay, very good.
Are given.
So there is an opposite side and adjacent side. So sa TOA natin gamiton, that is tangent of the angle is equivalent to opposite over the adjacent. So that natin given, which is 100 feet ang height ng tree and 120 ang length ng shadow. And required lang natin makuha is ano daw kunuan angle of inclination na mahihimo from the ground to the sun, since we are going to find the angle of inclination of the sun. Okay? Come here. So, solution, we are going to use the tangent, opposite over adjacent. Then, we're going to substitute the value. Opposite is 100, this is 120. So, tangent 100 over 120. So, to get the theta, ang same question kanina, i-inverse natin. Diba? We're going to inverse this one. You just type or shift. Same kanina, shift tan, may magawa sa itong tangent inverse. This will become theta. So you have here the tangent inverse of 100 over 120. So again, if we're going to compute the angle, so just the inverse of the tangent, so we can now compute theta is equivalent to 39 degrees, 48 minutes, and 20 seconds. So if we're going to approximate this one or round it up, this is equivalent to approximately 40 degrees yung angle of elevation ng sun from the ground. Okay? So before you solve, himay-himayaan ay ang given, then you illustrate para mas madali. Okay. So, okay lang adi? Okay lang yung problem? Now, let's move to another problem. So, in this problem here, this is the simple and basic application of trigonometry in measuring a parcel of land. So, kung nagsusukol kitang tuna, ano't ginihimo ng mga GE on the ground. So, we have an example. So, this is the situation. So, one portion of the lot owned by Juan de la Cruz. So, may Juan de la Cruz, may daniya property. Tapos, ang usa ka side daniya property, side AD, we have here, kaninga side sa iyahang property daw, crosses a swamp. So, may dahang the illustration. So, this is the swamp. So, in order to locate the point in this line, hindi rin man pwede bumaktasan GE nga da nga line AD. So, bayan mahulog hiya sa swamp. So, he needs to find a solution nga ma-determine gihap niya ang location ni D without passing through that swamp. Okay? Ang bubuhaton ni GE is pwede siya mag-construct another point on the ground So, ang gibuhat ni GE, naghimo siyang point C. So, this is just a temporary point or gintatawag ini nga traverse point in the surveying term. So, mahimo siyang point. This is just a temporary. Ha? Dari ini, bot-bot na ng GE pagbutang himuhon nga has point C. So, this is just temporary. Okay, maghimo yung point C, na in a sense, makikita niya D. So, makikita niya D, na diri niya kailangan tumawid ha swamp. Okay, ang ginbuhat ni GE, from point A, diri niya ginbutangan niya instrument. So, just imagine, si surveyor is nagdaran protractor. Protractor. So, butang niya yung protractor dito, and he measure the angle here. Siguro, banabana lang niya nga, mga 51 degrees, 16 minutes, pwede na ini nga line, himuon temporary para makita natin si point D sa other side. So, he makes a 51 degree, 16 minutes na angle para makahimo niyan temporary nga point C. So, ang distance naman ni A to C, gin-measure liwat niya nga daan. So, he measured that as 1,585 feet ang kanyang distance. Pag abot niya kan C, our goal is to determine where is point D, di ba? So, niya ginbuhat, ginbalhin niya ang instrumento nga diha C, and then from the C, he created another angle. So, naghimo siyang another angle from here. This is his initial and this is the terminal. So, nag-create siyang angle which is 90 degrees. So, naghimo kayo siyang 90 degrees. And then, pag 90 degrees, waray pa hiya naabot ang D. Diba? Waray pa hiya kaabutan D. But, ang D and D is harani nala. Pwede nila diretsoon pag measure diretso nala. Now, the problem is, how far must be a measure from C to B? So, the question now is, ano kaharayo ang aton point C to B? So, gano'ng kaharayo niya baktasun para makakadtuhiya nga side ang ibang nga point si D? Okay? So, based on the illustration, di ba may nakita 90 degrees? 90 degrees is a right angle. So, kung medyo ituyok lang niyo yung image, mahimo siyang right triangle. So, that is a right triangle since this is 90 degrees. So, for the right triangle, what is now the hypotenuse? In the illustration, what is the hypotenuse of the right triangle? Ano nga side? Based on the
Side AB.
Okay, we have side AB. So side AB now is the hypotenuse of that right triangle. So ano kaya nga trigonometric function ang pwede natin himuon? Pwede gamito. Any suggestion kung anong function ang pwede natin gamiton para makuha natin line CP? Huh? Any suggestion? We can use
Sine.
So kung si sine na natin gagamiton, si sine is, ano man ang formula ni sine? Opposite of adjacent. Sakto ba? Opposite over hypotenuse. Sakto?
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Opposite over hypotenuse. So, so kung sine na natin gamiton, kailangan natin kita hypotenuse. Pero aton para ipakita hypotenuse, ano? Sa aton illustration, waray kita hypotenuse. Kaya natin hypotenuse, line AB. Sakto ba?
No, ma'am.
Anong pwede pa? Ang iba na itong function. We can use ano kaya ang ibang function?
TOA, ma'am.
Oh, we can use contour. So, ano ang kailangan nito? Kailangan nato may opposite. Kailangan nato may adjacent
Adjacent.
to may angle. So kung tuwa ta, tuwa, may daman kita opposite ato. So ang aton opposite, amo naton question mark. Kay opposite ni 15, amo man iniya. Side CB, amo an anon. However, may da kita, may da kita angle which is 15. Pwede. Kan isa, adjacent. May da. Ano man adjacent?
1585.
1585.
1585.
So, may nakita 1 unknown, 2 known. So, pwede natin na-compute ang CB. So, we can use TOA. So, what's the answer? We have, sulat natin given, length side of AC, angle at corner A. So, required natin distance is C to B. So, if we employ TOA, so that is tangent of the angle A equals to opposite over adjacent. So, we substitute the value ng ating opposite ay unknown. Ano taning unknown? CB ano? CB. CB. And yung atong adjacent is 1585. So, that is CB over 1585. So, take a look of this illustration. Now, in this equation, we can compute CB, di ba? We just multiply tangent 51 degrees 16 minutes to 1585. So, if we multiply this one, ano ang answer? May da ka mo calculator? Paki-compute daw. Times. Ano ang answer? Ano ang answer? What ano yung answer?
1976 po.
19, perado? 19
76.
point 1976.0. Pero ano yun? Ano ako nga 1976? Pero ang decimal? 0.046?
0.5 po.
0.5, okay. So, so the answer is, sa'yo pa na akong answer. Tangent 51, 16. So this is equivalent to, pero 1976 point, that is 0.05. 0.05. So this one is wrong. Okay? Klarado na? Okay? So, paano? Matthew, let's go back to, you can open your mic. Paano? You can open your mic. So this is the end. This is the last problem probably for this presentation. Maika, nakuha mo ang answer?
Hello?
Oo, nakuha mo ang answer?
Ma'am? Hello?
Oo, we can hear you.
Oh, kalkyo, paarit pag. Sorry.
Thank you. You just input the value. Pwede mo mag-input in tangent. Diretso na ito, ayaw na i-inverse. Kaya may da naman niya ang daan. Naka-degree naman siya. So, yung input tangent na lang, may da tangent na calcu. Tapos, i-input ang degree, tangent 51 degree, 16 minutes. So, may da na multiplied by the distance 1585. You try. May naka-calculator, you input the tangent, then multiply to 1585. Kung nagawas 1976, ayaw na i-inverse, ayaw na pag-shift. Naka-ang pating naka-syntax error.
Oo.
Anay. Ano na imong inputang?
Kuan. Tan.
Tangent. Tapos,
15 degree. 51.
tapos,
Tapos 16. Tapos close parenthesis.
and 15, tapos, multiply by 158.
Extra close parenthesis.
May iba nga calculator nga, dili nakatag-answer kung doon close parenthesis. Close parenthesis, anay. And tangent, and value sa 51 degrees 16 minutes, maoy i-close parenthesis. Kay may nga calculator, dili nakatag-answer.
Oh, 51 degrees. Tapos 16. Tapos close parenthesis.
16 minutes,
Tapos
16 minutes, butangin minutes.
hain.
Di ba? Tangent, 51 degrees, 16 minutes. May da minutes, san imo 16?
Waray line. Hain ka.
Ito nga 0, ito nga may 0, kama, tapos duha nga kama.
Yes. Waray man butang. Paano pagbutang?
Di ba, nag 51 degrees ka,
Oo.
tapos i-input ang 16, i-input yung otro ang degrees.
Degree.
Oo, may dasugad na, diri na naka-0.
May degree na siya. Oh, may 16 nagpa-degree.
Okay lang ito, kay may ibang kahit yung degree. Okay na. Tapos, multiplied by,
5, 8, 5. Kuan. 1976.046.
Okay na.
Okay na. Thank you.
So you try waray pagod background han calcu, bangin bago lang inyong mga calculator. You can try to pwede niyo i-input ini nga mga numbers tapos try to check kung sakto ang answer. So the process is all the same. The problem lang is how are you going to use or ano nga function na niyo gamiton, and ang mulada kung ano talaga nga function ang gamiton tapos pag-analyze sa problem. Kay may iba nga imbis nga AC and opposite an adjacent magiging opposite. So pag input mo ha kay Q, mag-iiban answer. Another also, pagmamadali, always check your calculator kung naka-degree or naka-radian. So kung ang given is radian, dapat naka-radian ang calcu. So kung ang given is naka-degree, dapat naka-degree ang mode sa calcu. Okay. Paano ma-check ang mode sa calcu? Balik na nato ang illustration kanina. Andyan nga may ini, dapat naka-degree mode ang calcu. Hindi naka-degree mode. Ini check kung naka-degree mode. So I think that's the end of this afternoon's presentation. So if you need some additional problem, I will give you some additional problem with solution. So for now, just practice, especially on how are we going to operate the calculator. Okay? Any question? Any other question? Can you type yes on the chat box if you learned something on this lecture, or kung na-review and may mga knowledge na on how are we going to use this function? I will be more focused on Trigo siguro than the algebra. Since the algebra is just a review and we need basic knowledge on Trigo since foundation siya sa surveying na subject next semester. Okay? Before we end this video, can you turn on your camera before we end? I-stop ko na yan, recording. So thank you again. If you have questions, you can write a comment on the chat box.